Hey, it's Plain Decoded. Please like, share, and subscribe. Consider supporting me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/plaindecoded. The link will be in the description. For now, any support I get will go toward me upgrading to a new computer and getting the SolarFire software. Supporting me on Patreon also gets you into my Discord, and thanks to all those people that are supporting me. Let's get into the video. I want to quickly talk about my channel and what I'm doing. I'm using the rules of sports astrology to determine the outcome of the game and the money line. And also I'm using those rules to determine the times of scoring plays. And that's what I'm really good at, actually, is the scoring plays. I will give my opinion on the outcome of the game, but I want you to know that gematria is superior when it comes to the outcome. And for scoring times, I'm the only one that's doing it in the community that I know of and online on YouTube. I have done really well at scoring plays and drives. I will talk about how to do a scoring play in your app. I can't pull it up right now, but in your betting app, you should be able to, while the game is on, go to a tab and Bet365, it's called Instant. You click Instant and it'll show the drive. It'll give you the options to do a score, no score, and then you can get more specific where the odds go up is where you say that on this drive they'll score a field goal or a touchdown. Now the safest method is to just do a score. The problem with that is you have to time it right, where say they're at the 50-yard line, the team with the ball, and my scoring aspect is coming up no more than 5 minutes away. You can select score, and the odds should be at least minus 120, and the closer they get down the field, the worse the odds get. So if they're at the 30-yard line, it's going to be like minus 200 for a score, because they're most likely going to score, right? And then at that point, you can be like, well, I think I'll take a field goal here, but they could still score a touchdown. So that's why score is the best way to do it, and to line it up, it's a timing issue. That's how you can do a scoring play, and I'll go over the scoring plays in a second. I'll just first talk about the overall astrology of the game. Today we have a new moon, and the new moon is in Aquarius, and the sun just ingressed into Aquarius as well. I would consider using Aquarius in your gematria decodes because it's so strong. The first house has Cancer in it, ruled by the moon, and the moon is in Aquarius, like I said, and the dispositor of the moon is Saturn. And normally I would give the first house rulership to Saturn, but because the seventh house has Capricorn in it, which is ruled by Saturn, the seventh house stays as Saturn. So the first house is going to be operating without a significator. And then the 10th house has Pisces in it, ruled by Jupiter, and that's fine. So the rules state that the favorite, and like I said before, the houses assignment is not working lately, but the favorite would get Jupiter, and the underdog will get the 7th and the 4th. So Saturn, and then in the 4th house we have Virgo in it, ruled by Mercury, and the underdog will get Mercury. And because this is going to be about scoring plays, I'll give my opinion on the money line, but I'll give the scoring plays first. And that was the overall astrology. All right, I'll go over the drives and times for scores. I first want to show the strongest aspects when it comes to drives and scores. When a planet sits on the cusp, that's the most powerful. I see that come through the most often. Conjunctions come through a lot, and then trines are really, really good. Oppositions hit, and then not so much are squares and sextiles. And I would say squares and sextiles are the least. That's why I put them there. Trines are supposed to be in astrology the nicest aspect. Oppositions are the hardest, and so are conjunctions. If you look up astrology, you can Google aspects and then easy and hard, and you can see what I'm talking about. I went through the game, and when I have the computer and the software, I won't have to do this manually. I can just click a button and it'll show it, all of it. It'll be so much faster. I like this 3:58 time because the Antisha of Lord 10, Jupiter, is cusp the IC, so that means it's sitting right on the cusp. And I put a field goal, but that doesn't mean field goal. I would just do the scoring play, line it up for a scoring play, and just do a fun one for this because I'm not sure if it'll hit. I have a single check mark because I've seen it come through before, and I don't have the highest confidence, but it's there. And then at 4:55, The moon is trine, which is a really nice aspect, the antisha of the part of fortune. I really like this time. I think it'll hit. I'm going to definitely bet this time. And I've seen it come through 3 times for a TD and 1 time for a field goal. If you want to get fancy, you can try a TD. But like I said, do a score play. Just score. You have to get it at the good odds, otherwise it's not going to be worth it. And then later on in the game, I have 526 double check mark. That's Lord 10, Jupiter, trine the part of fortune. I like that time a lot too. Problem is I've got all these other times near it, so it might come through. It might get like offset by them. I just really like this 455 time. That's going to be the best time. Yeah, that should be really good. I think that this moon trine will come through. Okay, my opinion on the money line for the game, which I would defer to gematria because it's superior, but this is something to consider because sometimes the astrology is set up right the way the rules are. The first house has no significator, but the 10th for the favorite has Jupiter, and the moon is applying to Jupiter on a sextile. It is moon sextile Jupiter, 2 degrees and 18 minutes applying. That's a good testimony for the favorite to win. However, there's a problem, and that is that the moon is squaring the antisha of Saturn, which is Lord 7. Okay, so here's the moon, and then this red line down here, that's a square. It's going to 90 degrees, and it's going to square onto Saturn, which is Lord 7, the underdog. If this game was applying to the rules given, I would take the underdog to win because the first testimony comes before it, and Saturn is applying at 3 degrees and 23 minutes. It's a late aspect. 4 degrees is the max. So here, I have it right here. I had to do the math myself because it doesn't do it on this website. But don't go with my money line. Go with your gematria money line, and I'll be surprised if the Jaguars do win. That'd be crazy. But yeah, like I said, this is mostly about scoring plays. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for supporting on Patreon. And let's crush some scoring plays.